There are a lot of recipes in Disney Dreamlight Valley, and as a newer player, you might not have access to all the best recipes for energy and selling to make money. So in this video, we're going to break down all the recipes biome by biome, so that way you can know what exactly is the best recipe for energy and money based off of wherever you are in the game and whatever biomes you have unlocked. Hello, my name is Lakin, and welcome back to our cozy little zoo, where today we are diving into all the Disney Dreamlight Valley recipes. There are a lot of videos out there that talk about what are the best of the best out of all the recipes, but I know before I unlocked every biome, I didn't have access to those best of the best recipes. And it was really difficult to find, okay, what's the best recipe if I only have a Dazzle Beach and the Peaceful Meadow unlocked? What's the best recipe if I only have the Forest of Valor? There wasn't a video that encompassed all of that and advanced my cooking and recipes as I advance in the game. I made a video just like this for the crops of which ones are the best to make money from, just selling the crops by themselves in each biome, and so we're gonna do the same today, but with the food. Now, I have two caveats for before we get started. The first is, I know some of these items, especially forageables or fish, can be found in multiple biomes, but I just chose one biome for them to be selected in, and I kind of went based off of where I first encountered them. So if you see something and you're like, I can also get that in this biome, why is it not over there? It was just easier to keep everything to one biome. Like, for example, the bananas. You can get the bananas in the Peaceful Meadow, but you can also get them in Dazzle Beach. But if you see bananas in a recipe, I have them marked as being available in the Peaceful Meadow only. And then the second caveat is, I am going to assume that you have Chez Remy's unlocked, so that you're able to purchase cheese, peanuts, milk, butter, and different things like that. If you don't have it unlocked, just make sure you go to the Remy realm inside of the castle and complete his quests until you're able to place Chez Remy down in your valley. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Now, when you first enter the game, you only have access to the Peaceful Meadow and the Plaza. Now, the Peaceful Meadow and the Plaza, I'm just gonna kind of group into one because they're unlocked at the beginning and it's the center of the valley. There are 22 different recipes that you can cook from the beginning, as long as you have Chez Remy as well. If you don't have Chez Remy, there are 8 different recipes that you can make, and there are actually quite a few that give you energy boosts over 1,000. The top 3 recipes for energy are actually also the top 3 recipes for money as well. So if you either want to consume these to get a lot of energy or sell them to get some good amount of money, these are the top 3 that you want from the Peaceful Meadow. Number 3 is Bunalos. This recipe will give you 1,881 energy when you consume it, and it will give you 948 gold when you sell it. All you need for this recipe is wheat, cheese, egg, and milk. The second best recipe is peanut butter waffles. This recipe will give you 1,938 energy when you consume it, and 978 gold if you try to sell it. And all you need for this recipe is peanuts, wheat, egg, and milk. And then the best recipe from the Peaceful Meadow, the number 1, is basil omelets. This recipe will give you 2,033 energy, and you can sell it for 982 gold. And all you need for this recipe is basil, egg, cheese, and milk. Now, you may have noticed that all those recipes include ingredients that you have to purchase from Chez Remy's. if you don't have Chez Remy's unlocked yet, the best recipe for energy is fruitcake. It will give you 1511 energy, and all you need is wheat and then 3 fruits of any kind. And I will say, if you don't have Chez Remy's unlocked, none of these recipes are really going to be worthwhile trying to sell them. Now, right on the screen right now, I'm going to put a graphic of all the recipes that you can cook in the Peaceful Meadow, so if you want to look at them, you can see them. So just pause here if you want to take a screenshot or write these down, but the next biome we are going to head over to is Dazzle Beach. Now with Dazzle Beach, we're not just going to be covering the Dazzle Beach exclusive recipes, we will also be covering any recipes that have items from the Peaceful Meadow and the Dazzle Beach combined. And here are the top 3 recipes from Dazzle Beach that are the best for energy consumption. And in third place, we have Stitch Cupcakes. Stitch Cupcakes will give you 2140 energy, and to make Stitch Cupcakes, all you need is wheat from the Peaceful Meadow, blueberries from Dazzle Beach, butter and milk from Chez Remy's, and sugarcane from the Dazzle Beach. The recipe that gets second place is pastry cream and fruits. This recipe gives you 2332 energy upon consumption, and all you need to create this recipe is 3 of any fruit, milk from Chez Remy's, and sugarcane from Dazzle Beach. And then the recipe that is the best for energy consumption in Dazzle Beach are the Spaceship Earth cupcakes. These cupcakes will give you 2440 energy upon consuming one of them. All you need to make these are wheat from the Peaceful Meadow, coconut from Dazzle Beach, milk and butter from Chez Remy's, and sugarcane from Dazzle Beach. And then if we look at the top 3 recipes from Dazzle Beach for selling, it's a little bit different of a list. The third best recipe for selling is the Spaceship Earth cupcakes. You can sell them for 772 gold. Again, that recipe is wheat from the Peaceful Meadow, coconut and sugarcane from Dazzle Beach, and milk and butter from Chez Remy's. The second best recipe to sell are the mermaid cupcakes. You can sell them for 785 gold, and all you need for this recipe is wheat from the Peaceful Meadow, butter and milk from Chez Remy's, and sugarcane and a scallop from Dazzle Beach. And then the best food recipe to sell in Dazzle Beach are the Aurora cakes. You can sell these for 786 gold, so just 1 more gold than the mermaid cupcakes. All you need for these are raspberries and wheat from the Peaceful Meadow, sugarcane from Dazzle Beach, and then eggs and milk from Chez Remy's. And here is a graphic of all the different recipes that you can create if you have the Dazzle Beach unlocked. Now again, this isn't every recipe that has ingredients from Dazzle Beach, just all the recipes that you could cook if you only had Dazzle Beach unlocked. So you can pause and see all this information for yourself, but the next biome we are going to be talking about is the Glade of Trust. Now, in the Glade of Trust, there are 16 recipes that we can look at to see what's the best for energy or what's the best to sell, and we might be able to start seeing a pattern here. The more powerful the recipe, the better recipes have Chez Remy ingredients in them, along with multiple ingredients from multiple different biomes. So let's go ahead and talk about what is the best recipes in the Glade of Trust for energy consumption. What are the best ones to get you moving around the valley as fast as possible? In third place, we have meringue pie. Meringue pie will give you 2014 energy upon consumption. All you need for this recipe is lemons from the Glade of Trust, butter and eggs from Chez Remy's, and wheat from the Peaceful Meadow. The second best recipe are chocolate waffles. These waffles will give you 2223 energy, and all you need for them is cocoa beans from the Glade of Trust, wheat from the Peaceful Meadow, and eggs and milk from Chez Remy's. And then the best recipe when it comes to energy consumption inside the Glade of Trust, that goes to Mocha. Mocha will give you 2246 energy, and all you need for this one are 2 cocoa beans from the Glade of Trust and a thing of milk from Chez Remy's. But just because those are the best for energy consumption doesn't mean they're necessarily the best for money. So if we look at the top 3 recipes for if you're wanting to sell them, the 3rd place goes to Kronk's Spinach Puffs. You can sell these for 461 gold, and all you need for them is spinach and canola from the Glade of Trust and cheese from Chez Remy's. The one that will give you the 2nd highest gold is meringue pie. You can sell that for 667 gold, and all you need is lemons from the Glade of Trust, wheat from the Peaceful Meadow, and butter and eggs from Chez Remy's. And then the best one to sell are the chocolate waffles. They'll sell for 735 gold, and that recipe again for the chocolate waffles are cocoa beans from the Glade of Trust, wheat from the Peaceful Meadow, and eggs and milk from Chez Remy's. Here is that graphic for all the recipes that you can create that include just the Peaceful Meadow and the Glade of Trust together, so you can pause here if you would like. But the next biome we are heading over to see the recipes for is the Forest of Valor. Now, the Forest of Valor has very few recipes, with only 6 recipes for us to look at here. So I could go through all 6 recipes, tell you the energy, and tell you how much they sell for, but we'll still stick to the top 3. And in 3rd place, we have Simple Fried Perch. You'll get 1317 energy upon consuming this recipe, and all you need to cook it is a perch from the Forest of Valor, butter from Chez Remy's, and wheat from the Peaceful Meadow. The 2nd best recipe from the Forest of Valor are onion puffs. They will give you 1392 energy upon consuming them, and all you need are onions from the Forest of Valor, and then eggs and cheese from Chez Remy's. And then the best recipe that you can use in the Forest of Valor for energy consumption is baked carp. You'll get 1894 energy when you consume the baked carp, and the recipe includes just 2 ingredients: carp from the Forest of Valor and butter from Chez Remy's. Now, the 3rd best recipe if you're trying to sell meals from the Forest of Valor, the 3rd best one to go for are the bell pepper puffs. These will sell for 606 gold, and all you need are bell peppers from the Forest of Valor, and then eggs and cheese from Chez Remy's. The 2nd best recipe is the baked carp. You'll be able to sell that for 767 gold, and all you need for that one is the carp from the Forest of Valor and the butter from Chez Remy's. And then the best recipe to sell in the Forest of Valor are the onion puffs. Onion puffs will give you 798 gold, and all you need is onions from the Forest of Valor, and then eggs and cheese from Chez Remy's. And just like before, I'll give you all the recipes that you could cook if you only had the Forest of Valor and the Peaceful Meadow unlocked in a graphic that is easy for you to read, so that way you can see all this for yourself. But the next biome we will be headed over to see what is the best food to make there is the Frosted Heights. Now, because you can only get to the Frosted Heights via the Forest of Valor, we will actually be able to have recipes that include ingredients from the Frosted Heights, the Forest of Valor, and the Peaceful Meadow all at the same time. But even still, with that caveat, we only have 5 recipes to look at. Only 1 is a Frosted Heights exclusive, 1 is a Forest of Valor and Frosted Heights combined, and the other 3 are Frosted Heights and Peaceful Meadow only, which I find very interesting that there's not more recipes. But still, let's go through the top 3 recipes in the Frosted Heights, that are the best for energy consumption. In third place, we have cherry pie. You'll be able to get 1,497 energy when you consume cherry pie. All you need are cherries from the Frosted Heights, wheat from the Peaceful Meadow, and butter from Chez Remy's. In second place, we have Snow White's Gooseberry Pie. This recipe will give you 1,677 energy, and all you need is gooseberries from the Frosted Heights, wheat from the Peaceful Meadow, and butter from Chez Remy's. And first place, the best recipe for energy in the Frosted Heights are eggplant puffs. These eggplant puffs will give you 1,941 energy, and all you need are eggplants from the Frosted Heights, eggs, and then eggs and cheese from Chez Remy's. And normally I would give you the top 3 recipes to sell inside of a biome, but really the Frosted Heights only has one good one. 4 of the recipes will get you around 300 and something gold, but the top place will give you over 900 gold. So instead of giving you 3, I'm just gonna tell you the top one since there's such a drastic difference. This is really the only recipe you need to be cooking in the Frosted Heights if you are wanting to make money. And that is the eggplant puffs. These eggplant puffs not only will give you the most energy, but they will also give you 991 gold if you try to sell them. And that recipe again is the eggplant puffs from the Frosted Heights and then egg and cheese from Chez Remy's. Here is the graphics so you can see all this information for yourself, see how I broke it down, if you want to screenshot it or write it down for later. But the next biome we will be tackling is the Sunlit Plateau. The Sunlit Plateau has 8 recipes for us to look at and see what is the best, what are the top 3, and the third spot is taken by the spicy baked bream. This recipe will get you 2,075 energy upon consuming it, and all you need is a bream from the Peaceful Meadow, chili peppers from the Sunlit Plateau, and butter from Chez Remy's. The second place goes to pan-seared tilapia and vegetables. This recipe will give you 2,228 energy when you consume it, and all you need is tilapia from the Sunlit Plateau and any 2 vegetables. And the best recipe for energy consumption in the Sunlit Plateau is the walleye in patole. This recipe will give you 3,707 energy, so quite a big jump from second place. And all you need for this recipe is a walleye that you can catch in the Sunlit Plateau, basil and oregano from Peaceful Meadow, and any vegetable you want. And then if we look at the top 3 recipes if you're wanting to sell, the first and second place from the energy consumption are also the first and second place for here, but our third place is different. So for third place, we actually have crepes. Crepes will give you 768 gold when you sell them, and all you need is wheat from the Peaceful Meadow, eggs and milk from Chez Remy's, and vanilla from the Sunlit Plateau. And because the top 2 recipes have like the pan-seared tilapia and vegetables and the walleye in patole have ingredients that say any vegetable included in it, the price can vary on these. So the price you get may be a little bit different than the price that I've gotten, but I have the pan-seared tilapia and vegetables selling at 884 gold, and the walleye in patole selling for 1,741 gold. So again, those may all be determined by what other vegetables you are using, but those recipes have the highest chance of giving you the most money back if you're able to. And just like all the others before this, here is that graphic of all the different recipes that you can cook if you have the Sunlit Plateau and the Peaceful Meadow unlocked together. Again, it's not very many recipes, but they're all actually pretty good for energy and pretty good for money. So you really can't go wrong with any of these recipes. But the next biome we will be going over is the Forgotten Lands. Now, this will be the same as it was for the Frosted Heights, because you have to unlock the Sunlit Plateau before you can unlock the Forgotten Lands. Any recipe that includes the Forgotten Lands, Peaceful Meadow, and Sunlit Plateau together only are allowed in this list that we will be looking at. But just like the Frosted Heights, the Forgotten Lands only has one recipe that includes Forgotten Lands and Peaceful Meadow together, and only one recipe that includes the Forgotten Lands with the Sunlit Plateau. All other 8 recipes are Forgotten Land exclusive recipes. But just like in the Peaceful Meadow, these Forgotten Land recipes, the best ones for energy, are also the best ones to sell, so we'll go over them at the exact same time. So in third place, we have pumpkin soup. Pumpkin soup, if you eat it, you will consume 1,449 energy, and if you chose to sell it, you would get 1,515 gold back. All you need for this recipe are pumpkins and ginger from the Forgotten Lands, and then milk from Chez Remy's, and any vegetable. The second best recipe is pumpkin puffs. If you consume this recipe, you'll get 1,466 energy back for each one you consume, and if you choose to sell it, you'll get 1,489 gold back. But all you need for this recipe is 1 pumpkin from the Forgotten Lands, and then 1 egg and 1 cheese from Chez Remy's. But the best recipe to consume for energy and also sell is the smoked peanuts and anglerfish recipe. This recipe will give you 3,960 energy when you consume it, or if you decide to sell it, you'll be able to get 2,210 gold back for your efforts. And all you need for this recipe are anglerfish that can be caught in the Forgotten Lands and peanuts from Chez Remy's. So a pretty straightforward recipe there, especially for a lot of money and energy as a return on investment. But here is the graphic of all the recipes that you can make in the Forgotten Lands. And while we may have covered all the different biomes by themselves, we still have 2 more categories that I want to go over. One that includes just the any recipes, the ones that have only ingredients that can be from anything. So those recipes are not necessarily locked by biome, as well as the recipes overall. So what is the best if you have all the areas unlocked, if you have access to all the cooking ingredients, all the fish, all the spices, all the vegetables? What's the best ones? Because as we've been able to see, the recipes that have multiple different sources, like Chez Remy's, multiple biomes, and things like that, are the ones that are getting the most money and most energy back for us. So if we have access to all the biomes, what's gonna be the best? But first, we'll start off with the innies. So there are 20 different recipes that either come exclusively from Chez Remy ingredients or can have any grain, any fruit, any spice, any fish, any vegetable. All these recipes right here don't have any specific requirements except for the ones that need ingredients from Chez Remy's. Hopefully that makes sense. But there are 20 different recipes that we can look at that fit this specific criteria that I'm looking at. And while some of the any ingredients can vary in price and energy based on what vegetable or fruit you decide to put in that slot, the recipes that are the strongest in this category are actually recipes that only come from Chez Remy's. Which, I mean, are we surprised? Chez Remy's ingredients have pretty much been in every single recipe we've talked about today so far. But these top 3 recipes are not only the best for energy, they are also the best to sell. These could technically be recipes that I could have discussed in the Peaceful Meadow, because you can start making these from the beginning, but I wanted to keep them separate since they don't necessarily require any specific ingredients from the Peaceful Meadow or the Plaza. But the third recipe is scrambled eggs. If you consume scrambled eggs, you will get 1,070 energy back, and if you sell it, you'll get 520 gold for your efforts. And all you need for this recipe is 1 egg and 1 cheese from Chez Remy's. The second best recipe is the omelet. Omelets will give you 1,751 energy, and you can sell them for 882 gold. And all you need is an egg, a milk, and cheese for this recipe from Chez Remy's. And then the best recipe, which this also may be the best recipe for making a profit without needing to do any gathering. No fishing, no gardening, no foraging in all of the valley. So if you just want to sit there and crank out that gold without having to wait on a time limit, this is going to be the best recipe for you. And that is the souffle. The souffle will give you 2,386 energy when you consume it, but if you choose to sell it, it will give you 1,230 gold for 1 souffle. All you need for this recipe is cheese, egg, milk, and butter from Chez Remy's, which that is a pretty big jump from 1,700 energy from the omelet to 2,300 energy for the souffle, and the same with 800 gold for the omelet and then 1,200 gold for the souffle. That's quite a big jump. But before we get too ahead of ourselves, here's the graphic of all the recipes that could have anything in them or exclusively Chez Remy ingredients. So you can see what I'm looking at, what I'm talking about, if any of these recipes pique your interest. But before we finish this video, let's go ahead and double check. Let's see if we have everything unlocked. What is the best recipe? What are the top 3 recipes in all of Disney Dreamlight Valley? Now, this does not cover the expansions. This is only based off of the base main valley. Now, these recipes that I'm about to go over are going to be really difficult to find and get ingredients for. A lot of them require rarer ingredients, so it will be harder to get a whole bunch of it, especially when you first unlock everything in the valley. So I would still just focus in on the other recipes that I gave, but it wouldn't be a complete video if we didn't say the absolute best of the best, the cream of the crop, and let's go ahead and get into it. So energy-wise, the third best recipe for energy consumption is the Lancet Fish Paella. You will get 4,550 energy back when you consume a singular Lancet Fish Paella, a Lancet Fish from the Forgotten Lands, a shrimp and tomato from Dazzle Beach, any shellfish, and rice from the Glade of Trust. The second best recipe in all of Disney Dreamlight Valley is the lobster roll. This lobster roll will give you 4,928 energy when you consume one, and all you need for this recipe is a lobster from the Sunlit Plateau, wheat from the Peaceful Meadow, lemon from the Glade of Trust, butter from Chez Remy's, and garlic from the Forest of Valor. And then the best recipe for energy in all of the valley is poached basil butter sturgeon. When you consume one of these meals, you will get 4,961 energy back. That's a lot of energy. All you need is 4 ingredients, the first being a white sturgeon from the Frosted Heights, basil from the Peaceful Meadow, lemon from the Glade of Trust, and butter from Chez Remy's. Now I know you may be asking, are those 3 also the best to sell if you're wanting to make the most money from meals in Disney Dreamlight Valley? The list is a little bit different. The 3rd best recipe to sell is the smoked peanuts and anglerfish. This was also the best recipe in the Forgotten Lands to sell, if you remember, but this recipe sells for 2,210 gold. And all you need is an anglerfish from the Forgotten Lands and peanuts from Chez Remy's. The 2nd best recipe is the poached basil buttered sturgeon. So while this one may be the best for energy, it's only the 2nd best for money making. It will give you 2,246 gold when you try to sell one of these. And that recipe again is the white sturgeon from the Frosted Heights, basil from the Peaceful Meadow, lemon from the Glade of Trust, and butter from Chez Remy's. And the best recipe to sell, the number 1 in all of the valley, in all of the biomes combined, is the pan-fried anglerfish. This recipe will sell for 2,550 gold, and all you need is an anglerfish and a potato from the Forgotten Lands, a tomato from Dazzle Beach, and a zucchini from the Sunlit Plateau. I will have down below a copy of the Excel sheet that I used to gather all this information. I would like to give a big shout out to this person on Reddit who I took their Excel sheet and used it as a starting off point to gather all my information. I greatly appreciate them. It saved me a whole lot of time and effort in having to do this all completely from scratch. But I will leave this entire Excel sheet down below. It has different pages for where all the recipes are combined and divided up amongst each different biome, just like we did in the video. So if that way you want to see all this stuff just laid out how I have it, all you need to do is make a copy of the Excel sheet, and then you can add and edit it at your heart's content. Only after you make a copy though, that is. In this Excel sheet, you'll be able to see exactly what biomes each of these ingredients are from, the recipe, how much energy they go for, how much they sell for, and so on and so forth. Again, big shout out to Reddit for helping me. I greatly appreciate all the time and energy it saved me, and it is a great Excel sheet all on its own. It didn't actually need me to add anything to it. So if you want to see that Excel sheet by itself, create a copy of that one and use that one. I'll leave that one in the description below as well, so you can make a copy of that one. And on the original Reddit Excel sheet, you won't have any of the biomes added. You won't have any of these different ingredients highlighted, and you also won't have it broken down by biome, but it's still a pretty good resource for the Disney Dreamlight Valley base game recipes. I will say that that Excel sheet hasn't been updated since 2022. It still works. It's still good. So hopefully this video helped you understand what recipes you can and can't make in whatever stage of Disney Dreamlight Valley you are in at the moment, because it definitely helped me. It helped me open my eyes to what I should be cooking in what areas, or how far along I am in, because again, when you just look at the best of the best, those usually have rarer ingredients that are harder to get. So hopefully this helps you break it down so you can see where you are and what would be the best feasible for you in your Disney Dreamlight Valley journey. With that being said, let me know if you have any questions, anything I missed, or if you want to see a video like this for each of the expansions. I will happily do that. Or if there's any other questions, just Disney Dreamlight Valley related that you have, leave them down below and I will try to answer them to the best of my abilities. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe so you can be notified the next time I go live playing Disney Dreamlight Valley, or the next time we post a video, whether it's a tips and tricks video or it's a gameplay video, because we love all the cozy games here. We love diving into a bunch of cozy life simulator games, just like Disney Dreamlight Valley. So hopefully I'll see you next time. And I guess the only thing we have left to say is bye!